If the YouTube algorithm has decided to promote this video and you're new to this channel, then I know exactly what you're thinking. Who's this kid and what does he have to say about success? If that's you, then all I ask is for you to suspend your doubts for just 60 seconds and hear me out. If by the end of the 60 seconds you think he hasn't got anything of value, then by all means you can go and click on the distracting videos to the side of this video and carry on watching your SJWs get wrecked and your Ben Shapiro compilations. But instead, if by the end of the 60 seconds you think that I have something of value to share, then I want you just to lock in and not let yourself get distracted, but just watch this video and enjoy it, because I really feel like it is powerful. Now, before I get into the ways that I change my environment for success, I need to very quickly, it's just going to take me a few seconds, explain my opinion on discipline, motivation, and the environment. You see, in life, there are things that you can control, and there are things that you cannot control. And recently, there's been people that have started to shout down your throats telling you that you need to become disciplined. And from what I've seen, the two main people that are doing this are Jocko, Willink, and David Goggins. And they both say that you need to become disciplined. But I don't think it's a coincidence that both of these people have extensive military history. And the reason why they've come to the conclusion that discipline is necessary, because a lot of their experience has been in different countries at war, or it's been going through Navy SEALs trainings where the environment has been set up to make it difficult. And in their situation, the environment is not something they have much control over. They can't change the way that the Navy SEALs test you, because it's set up to be difficult. And that's why they've come to the conclusion that discipline is necessary. Because if you can't manipulate the environment, then all you have left is discipline. Things are difficult and you've got to buck up and you've got to deal with it. But my issue with this comes when you realize that everyday people have a lot of control over their environment. Just think about where you go on a day-to-day basis. Maybe you're at the gym, maybe you're at home, or maybe you're at work, and there's probably not too many other places between that. You have huge amounts of control over the way you manipulate those environments. For example, you can move your computer to a different place. You can decide what you put up on your walls. You can decide the applications that load up when you start your computer. You can decide what words are written on front of your fridge. Unlike a Navy SEALs training program or a different country at war, you have a lot more control over your environment. And that is why I think that discipline isn't the thing that should be being pushed down your throats. Instead, you should learn to change your environment to help it lead you towards success. Because if you can change your environment, that is a lot more reliable and it's a lot more easy than relying on discipline. The example I like to give is, imagine trying to get a lot of work done whilst you're in a strip club with loud music playing and people always trying to come up and talk to you. That environment is almost impossible to work in, and no matter how disciplined you are, you're not going to be able to get that work done. So that is why in this video, I'm going to lay out some step-by-step actionable items that you can do today to practically change your environment so that it practically forces you to go the way that you want to do. Because if you can make the good things easy to do and the bad things hard to do, that is the easiest and the most reliable way to success. And the most reliable part is so much more important than the easy section. Because I'm not all for doing the easy things. There will be times you've got to do the hard things. But the most reliable way is by changing the environment and not becoming disciplined. That's what I feel anyway. Put very simply, my opinion is that discipline is an essential and it's a very important skill to have, and it's very useful, but it should only be used once you've done everything you can to manipulate your environment first. So yeah, I put up a month-by-month view on the wall. You might be able to see it over there. If not, there's going to be some B-roll right now. And what this is, it's just my month, it's my year plan basically. And each month is separated so that I can view it all at once, because the brain struggles to view things if it's all split up. And that's why things like Google Calendar aren't as powerful as this. Because with this, I can view exactly what I'm going to do. I can see my year goals, I can see my month-by-month breakdown, my week-by-week breakdown, and my day-by-day breakdown of everything I'm going to do at one very simple glance. So I highly recommend you do this. I removed the bad and negative friends. How many times have you heard the quote that you're the average of the 5 people that are closest to you? There's also quotes that say, show me your friends and I'm going to show you your future. Now, I took these quotes to heart and I literally cut out so many of my friends, and this was awkward. There was literally friends that I cut out that I was living in the same house as. Imagine how awkward that was, but it has to be done. I recognize that the people around you make a huge impact on your success, your impact, your happiness. So by cutting those negative people out, that's the easiest and the most surefire way to manipulate your environment to get the things that you want to get done. Surround yourself with positive people, and that is almost going to translate into you through osmosis. It's very powerful. And I know some of you might be thinking, but I don't have other friends, or it's going to be awkward because they're friends with this person and I'm going to inadvertently get near them. You've just got to cut them out. You've got to do it. It will be worth it. And I know it may be scary, but it will be worth it. So if you struggle to wake up in the morning and you constantly press the snooze button, very simple, you just move your phone to the different side of the room so that when the alarm goes off, you've got to get up out of bed, walk across and turn off the alarm. And that way, instead of just turning off the alarm or pressing snooze whilst you're in bed, you've got to force your body to move, and you've got more of a likelihood that you're going to wake up from that movement. Again, manipulate your environment so that the good things become easy and the bad things become difficult. If in the mornings you struggle to stay in bed and you find yourself, as soon as your alarm goes off, you're fine, you turn it off, you're awake, but you end up watching YouTube, going on Instagram or Facebook or whatever the case may be. The solution to that is you just put your phone and your laptop and the iPad and your computer in a completely different room whatsoever. Then your excuse at the moment when you've thought of that might be, but I need it for my alarm. It's very simple. Go on Amazon, buy an alarm for $10, and that solves your problems. Make a shopping list before you go shopping. That way, when you're in the shop, you're not going to be tempted by all of the different unhealthy foods that are surrounded by you. If you've got a shopping list, or if you buy stuff online, this is actually quite a good one, because that way you just search stuff up, you click add, you search stuff up, you click add, and you're not distracted by everything else. Having a shopping list is a very simple way so that you're more likely to, buy the healthy things, and therefore you're more likely to eat the healthy things. It's far more easy just to not bring chocolate into your house than it is to resist the chocolate that is in your house. And that example is the ultimate proof why I feel like manipulating your environment is so important. Because if there's chocolate right next to you or a bowl of sweets right next to you all day, you're going to, very, very high likelihood, go in and just grab a few sweets or grab a bar of chocolate. If there's no sweets and there's no chocolate near you, then that's not going to be a problem. Manipulate your environment before you even think about trying to build discipline or build motivation. And once you've bought the stuff, you've bought the food, make the good food, the healthy food, easier to access than the unhealthy food. A great example of this is in a drawer just behind me in my girlfriend's room. I have a drawer that's full of sugar-free sweets because I've got a sweet tooth. And after dinner, after I've eaten, that is when I want something sweet. And before, I used to try and resist it. I'd say, no, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to have a chocolate cake. I'm not going to eat any sweets. Now, I've manipulated my environment so I can still get that sugar or that sweet fix without having sugar, because the sugar-free sweets are easy to access. Another example is I'm trying to bulk up and eat 3,000 calories a day. So what I do is I've got a bag of nuts in my bag at all times so that I can just snack on throughout the day. Now, I know this may be very different to your goals, but you can just switch it around. Maybe you've removed the bag of nuts from your room if you're trying to lose weight. Very simple, and it's not complicated. Another good one that I've done in the past is when I'm trying to eat less, you just change the size of your bowl, and your brain's going to think that you've got more food than you do if you've got a huge bowl that's got less food on it. Very simply, the smaller the bowl, the more your brain's going to think that you've eaten. So again, you're manipulating your environment so that you do the things that you want to do. Another one, and you'll notice that people like Steve Jobs do this all the time, and it's wear very similar or the same clothes every single day. You may have noticed from my videos, I've got a very similar style that I do change it up and I do wear different clothes every day, but it's very structured, it's very set. I know exactly which clothes go with which ones. I know exactly what I'm going to wear. I could predict it 4 days in advance because it rotates on a very systemized basis. And that way, you're manipulating your environment so that you don't have to make that decision every single day. You're not wasting the time to think, what am I going to wear today? You're not depleting your brain from decision fatigue because you're thinking, what am I going to wear today? It's very simple and it's very straightforward. So I used to have this problem with gaming, and I'd play CSGO every single day for many, many hours a day. And if you're wondering what rank I was, I got up to Supreme. Anyway, that was a big problem. I would waste so much time and I would say to myself, I want to do this, but I'd struggle to do it. The solution, after failing again and again, uninstalling the game, reinstalling the game, telling my friends I'm not going to play, then going back on my word, telling myself I'm not going to play, going back on my word, solution, Very simple. I sold my computer, I used the money to buy a MacBook, and that way there's no gaming on a MacBook, because gaming on a MacBook just sucks. So it wasn't a problem anymore. Very quickly, instantly resolved the issue from one singular decision. When I was choosing which gym to go to, instead of just picking the cheapest one, I picked the one that was closest to me. Because if it's closer to me, it's less resistance, there's less friction, and I'm more likely to do it. I'd made that decision a couple years ago. I've now been going consistently every single week, at least 3 to 4 to 5 times a week, every single week without fail. It's not difficult anymore because I manipulated my environment to make it easier for me to go. And I know a lot of you might be thinking this is a weak-willed way to do it. This is the easy way out to success. There are no shortcuts. I've seen comments that say that. You've got to understand that everything I do in my life isn't easy. But the things that I can manipulate to become easier, I will do. Because that way I'm able to pour all of my energy into the difficult things. Learning things, reading books, doing deep work on certain topics, coaching my clients through whatever problem they're facing. All of that stuff is the stuff that's difficult and requires all of my energy. If I can get all of the distractions, minimize the effort, minimize the time it takes for those distractions, then it makes the core work, the work I'm actually doing, so much better. Another one, which is similar to the shopping list, I created a workout plan, which means that every single day when I go into the gym, I know exactly what I need to do. There's no feeling like, oh, I'm going to cut this workout short. No, I do exactly what I've written on my plan. There's no thinking, oh, what am I going to do in the gym today? Everything aches. No, I just do what's on my plan. I use specific reminders on my phone every single day. I remind myself that I need to journal. I remind myself I need to meditate. I remind myself that I need to make a video. I remind myself that I need to edit. I remind myself that I'm meeting a friend. I remind myself that I'm doing university work. I remind myself that in a week's time I've got an essay due. Everything is reminders on my phone. That way I never forget anything. Think how easy it is to forget something. Think how difficult it is for a phone to forget a reminder. The phone is so much more consistent than a human. Every time it will show up with the reminder at the same time, down to the second, down to the minute, every single day, without fail. So use that technology to your advantage. I ordered an Oura ring. It's not here yet, but what it is it's a ring that you wear on your finger, obviously. And what it does is it tells you not only the length of your sleep, but the quality of your sleep. So by changing my environment in a way where I'm going to be wearing a ring every single day to remind me of the importance of sleep, I'm going to get better sleep. And finally, I opened a bank account that gives me notifications to my phone every single time that I spend something. That means there's no hidden charges, there's no money I forget about. It's all there, it all comes up on my phone. It also categorizes my spending by different categories, obviously, again. So it'll tell me how much I spent on food per month. It'll tell me how much I've spent on luxury per month and that kind of thing. Therefore, there's no hiding. All the data is there effortlessly. I don't have to go on an Excel spreadsheet and log what I spent. It's all there effortless. Now you may have noticed that all of these different things that I've said have been physical things, and it's all things in the real world that we live in. But nowadays you may understand that we spend a lot of our time on our phones and on our laptops. So I've actually got a whole host. I've spent many hours of research understanding how I can optimize my phone and understanding how I can optimize my laptop to make them productivity machines. Now, if you want me to release that video going over how to make your phone and your laptop completely productivity beasts, well, actually, they'll turn you into productivity beasts, then just let me know down in the comments. Also, if you want that, then just give this video a like. And if this video gets lots of likes and you share it with lots of your friends, I'll make that video very soon. If you're new around here, then make sure you smash the subscribe button. And once again, if you've enjoyed the video and you want me to make the next video on the phone and the laptop, click the like button and just comment down below.